I was hoping to get right back to the real world, but I'm still having trouble discerning the difference between reality and things my mind are just creating. I've been doing quite a bit of research online the last couple days, prompted by the last video I posted and the dream it's related to, more so. So I have a story for you with a whole bunch of links that it's, the story's based on. Even some YouTube videos from over a year ago that seem to be discussing this, although I haven't watched them yet. I'm gonna do that soon. The story. It was a dark and cold war. Little Ronnie Reagan found himself with all the discretionary spending he could want due to national security restrictions and an intense desire to defeat the Soviet Union without resorting to nuclear bombs. With these thoughts in mind, Ron sent a man named Leo Wanta to East Asia with a large amount of money and the task of starting a private corporation and using this funding, funneled through the CIA, I believe, or secretly, again. He would undertake the task of, in cooperation with the Chinese government, apparently, he began using this money to devalue the ruble, which did eventually lead to the collapse of the government of the USSR. In the process, he not only succeeded at his main mission, but he developed quite a large fund, evaluated to be something like 2.7 trillion at the time. Wow. That, as he understood it, from his agreement with Ronald Reagan, the money would be returned to America, repatriated, used for our benefit. Instead, the Bush Senior administration reported him dead and began secretly using the funds for their own endeavors. This fund apparently has been maintained in secret by the administration since then, being used for pet criminal projects by Bush Sr., Clinton, and Bush Jr. However, Wanta was not dead. When he showed up at a Swiss bank, he was arrested on supposedly trumped up charges. I don't know. There's so much rubble to sort through. He was arrested by the Swiss police under the authority of the Wisconsin State Police on the charges of tax evasion in the sum of about $19,000. Of course, when he was declared dead, Wisconsin government apparently sold off his $1 million home for about half of its value, with him, of course not seeing any of the money, and also he claims that he's paid for those taxes twice. Anyways, so this supposedly illegal arrest was converted at some point into parole, and then he was released from that when a benefactor, somebody who knew his story, paid the money, which include the fines and the supposed back taxes again, etc. Anyways, he's now international again. God, there's so many little details that... Apparently in May 2006, an agreement was reached between our administration, the current one, including several prominent members, and the Group of 8 nations, G8. The agreement was for 4.5 trillion of the total unknown value of the account, which, it was at least, well, it was 27 trillion, and I'm not even sure. Look, read the links. It's all overwhelming. An agreement was reached for 4.5 to be paid, some of which going to the various nations that are owed money, and most of it going to a company named Ameritrust, who is devoted under, business charter or whatever to the betterment of America, and would be used for, road projects, whatever. Could be put to use pretty much for whatever, in a way that would help America, thus like returning some of this stolen money to its rightful owner, America the public, not America the private executive branch. How am I doing on time? 8 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up. This week, supposedly, it's like operating in a vacuum, with our media just refusing to pass on certain information. I just don't know what to believe. It's impossible. There's no major media news source that has fully the public's interests in mind. Okay, getting off topic. The Wanta Plan, as it is referred to, the payment has been kicked off like 6 times since the summer of 2006, but now again has not been paid. There are sanctions that supposedly the G8 had agreed upon that should be kicking in, but I've been listening to NPR and hearing nothing about this. I don't know what's going on. The dream was easy for me to dismiss as a dream. But now, like, poking around and finding out this whole fiasco, completely invisible, but apparently real. I just don't know. Maybe, please let me know if I'm dreaming up these links, right? If I just hallucinated all that internet research I did, let me know. I obviously have to fix my head if that's true, and this stuff is so dramatic that hopefully in a week or two we'll know one way or another. That first link is providing continual updates. Man, what's going on?